All right, so look, you think the thing that you want to get from your PT is just being able to rehab from the specific injury or surgery or whatever it is that you've just had. But you don't like consider that if that's all you get, then you're in the exact same position as you're in before. So what's going to stop that from happening again? Like, you want to get an injury or something like that is a chance to like rework your whole framework around everything that you have. Not only the way that you train, the way that you think, the way that you eat, the way that you process everything that you have in your life, like your relationships and everything that goes along with that. So like when you go to a PT, understand that you're not going to get any of that. Okay, they have their process. Like, you're gonna walk in, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get told, like, or they're gonna have the injury that you've had or the surgery that you've had in front of them. They're gonna look off some sheet or look off some list, and they're gonna see, okay, this is what we do for that. They're not gonna they're not gonna have a 60-minute conversation with you. They're not going to provide you other materials so that you understand like how your body talks to you, how your body speaks to you. They're not going to help to inform you so that you understand better how your own body works. Like, because they don't even know. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. Like, they don't even understand why they're giving the protocols that they're giving. So, and I understood this, but I didn't really understand that. Like, I don't think people actually know what can happen when you go through rehab. And I was talking with a new athlete yesterday, and he helped me to I realized it a little bit more, because he was like, I didn't realize I was going to get all these different documents and all these different like information that would help me to understand not only the rehab that I'm doing, but everything else that I can change and adjust as we go through this. Like, being able to understand that this is literally a chance or an opportunity to redo everything, right? So, I mean, like, your PT is not going to send you the vitals. The vitals it's about, man, I'm trying to remember. Like, we have about 10 video topics here. Each of those are going to be 10 to 20 minutes long, 5 to 20 minutes long, walking through different topics on training, walking through different topics of rehab. In the vitals, you're also going to get like short explanations. So those are essentially little posters of like, I'm going to have them up in the garage here. They're posters like here we have like Pyramid of Performance, 8 Essentials. We have like why bare feet, bare hands. We have why isometrics. We have why high stress. We have like the box, which is basically saying get out of your own little bubble. So we have all these different like small short explanations that are just like bite-sized pieces, right? Sensory feedback and feeling is going to be a video presentation. I think that one, if I remember right, is about 20 to 30 minutes long. That's walking through like, okay, this is what it means when your body tells you something. Like, this is how your body provides you feedback. Like, this is how your system provides information to your brain, how your brain processes it, and that, like, it's how your body shows up. So it's 20 to 30 minutes walking through that so that you understand that process. Nutrition guide. So that's, I think there's about 40 pages there walking through not only like my thoughts on nutrition in terms of how I go about thinking about that, but there's also like a grocery list. There's how to find sourcing that's local to you. So we're touching on that. Introduction material is going through like, it's going through essentially those 8 essentials or the basics. The 8 essentials I originally took from Tommy John. So full credit there. But it's walking through like, okay, we have relationships, we have training, we have, what else do we have on there? We have relationships, we have training, we have purpose, breath, emotion, sleep, nutrition, outdoor environments, movement. Like, we have all these different things that are within your life, so it's an intro to that. This is the doozy. We have the energy to matter paradigm. That's 2 hours of video walking through how energy affects matter, how you can use meditation, how you can progress from meditation to take that into your daily life and like be like that all the time, right? So there's 2 hours of video just in that, walking through that whole process. And then there's also a light guide. So like how to think about how light affects your system, what different colors of light do for you and when to use those throughout the day, etc. That's just in the vitals. So that's one document, right? You're not going to get that from a PT. You're going to walk in, they're going to say, okay, this is your injury, this is your surgery, this is what we're going to do. And then they're going to give you some bandage shit, right? So that's one document, the vitals. Another document, slow lower series. So slow lower series is a 45 roughly 45-minute video that walks through how, like, the slow lowers that we'll be using as we go through the rehab. It walks through the why behind that. So it's talking about, like, how can we actually use those to learn or to discover, to explore how to recover as you work. And so it's walking through that whole paradigm, and it's also providing like a live demonstration essentially of me going through that so that you understand what we're going to be doing with those. So that's the second document you get. Again, PT's not going to give that. Rehab basics. So this is a massive document. The document's not that big, but you get 3 hours of video where I walk through, this is how I think about rehab. Like, if I was a PT and I had gone to school, it would be 3 hours of me walking through everything that I learned through school so that you understand where I'm coming from. You understand the lens and perspective that I have. Again, you're not going to get that. I didn't go to PT school, so that's not what's included in the 3 hour video, but it's my education and my thought process around when there's a rehab case, like, this is what we want to do. So if you dig into that, it's going to allow you to understand the process that we're going through, right? So that you don't have any questions on what are we actually doing and like, why are we doing what we're doing. A little outline to walk you through, like, if you want to skip to certain parts. So let's see. So that's the third document, 3 hours of video there. Nutrition plus light guide, that's included in the vitals. Move your joints move your joints are something that we're going to be doing if it's like a significant injury or a significant surgery. The move your joints are something that we'd be using right off the bat because they're very simple and they cover like full body, right? So that the move your joints document includes the moves that we'll be doing, as well as an explanation of why we do those and different sets and rep schemes that we can use. So like, I'll be providing the sets and rep schemes through the actual physical programming that we're doing, but the background video on that allows you to understand why we're using those, so that you have, the more knowledge you have on why you're doing what you're doing, the more clear you're going to be able to be on it, so the more you're going to be able to actually buy in on that, and the greater effect it's going to have on your system because you actually know what you're doing, right, versus just doing random shit. So that's the fourth document you get. Fifth document you get is the impulse guide. So impulse guide is 45 minutes walking through why I use impulses, how we use impulses, the adaptation that impulses are going to create, and then there's a full like 60 exercise video list included there that we'll go through as well. So you get those documents. I don't know how much, I mean, there's a 3 hour video, there's a 2 hour video, those are probably about, so that's 5. There's probably about 10 hours of video, around 10 hours of video there, and around, I don't know, man, like 60 to 100 pages or something like that of written content. So you get those. In addition to that, we have a 60-minute roughly conversation when we first start, so that I understand like your background, your history. I understand how you view. Like, this is another thing that your PT is not going to give you, because they don't even understand it themselves. They don't know how they view injury. They don't know how they view rehab. All they know, this isn't all PTs, but a lot of people that do rehab, is they don't know the actual principle or foundation that they're working off of. They just know the freaking thing that's in front of them, that they say like, okay, this is the injury, this is the protocol that we do. They don't understand how to adjust that protocol. Like, they would probably be scared to say, okay, this is how your body's presenting, we're gonna advance you 2 weeks past whatever this protocol that we think we're supposed to follow is. They would be like, I don't wanna do that because I need to follow protocol, and I don't understand, I don't understand why somebody's body is progressing faster than somebody else's, right? So like, they don't provide the information because I don't think most of them have a full understanding of that. And it's just, that's the way that the education is, right? But my point is, in addition to all those, we're also going to do a 60-minute FaceTime call where we're going through like injury history, training history. We're going through your own perception of like, how do you perceive injury? Because a lot of people don't actually know. Like, when you feel a sensation or something in your body breaks or has some type of like disconnect, they don't have any like paradigm around what that actually means. Like they're just, just like it's frustrating, and that's it, right? So I want to walk through all that so that we're on the same page and we understand what we're doing as we go through the rehab process. So when you're deciding like what do you want to do for rehab, take into account what you actually want to get out of the rehab. Do you like, number one, you want your body to actually be better and to feel better, right? And actually perform better. So the question is like, okay, where can I go to get that? Then you also have to ask like, okay, is there additional information that I can get out of that? Because if you think about it, like the way that you were before the injury happened, there was something missing there where the injury happened. Assuming it wasn't something just like acute where you fell out of a helicopter and broke your leg or something like that, right? Like there's adjustments that need to be made from the person that you were before the injury happened if you don't want that to repeat. So it's like, how much more can you get out of this rehab process, and using that to consider like who you actually want to go to or what you actually want to get out of that, and just understanding like, I don't know, just understanding what you want to get out of it and how much you actually can get out of a rehab, the opportunity that a rehab presents versus looking at it as something that you need to fix or something that you need to like just brush by because it's something that you didn't want to have happen.